Three main diseases are considered under the umbrella of pneumoconiosis, including coal workers' pneumoconiosis, silicosis, asbestosis, and asbestos-related diseases. A wide spectrum of lung findings are seen in coal workers, ranging from asymptomatic anthracosis to simple coal workers' pneumoconiosis to complicated coal worker pneumoconiosis, or what's called progressive massive fibrosis. Asymptomatic anthracosis shows pigment accumulation without a cellular reaction, while simple coal worker pneumoconiosis shows accumulations of dust-laden macrophages with little or no pulmonary dysfunction. At the other end of the spectrum, extensive fibrosis and compromised lung function are prominent findings in complicated coal worker pneumoconiosis or progressive massive fibrosis. Progressive massive fibrosis is a generic term that applies to a confluent fibrosing reaction in the lung and can complicate any of the pneumoconioses. Although coal is mainly carbon, coal mine dust contains a variety of trace metals, inorganic minerals, and crystalline silica. Talking about the morphology, pulmonary anthracosis is the most innocuous coal-induced pulmonary lesion in coal miners and also is commonly seen in urban dwellers and tobacco smokers. Inhaled carbon pigment is engulfed by alveolar or interstitial macrophages, which then accumulate in the connective tissue along the pulmonary and the pleural lymphatics and in the draining lymph nodes. Simple coal worker pneumoconiosis is characterized by the presence of coal macules and the larger coal nodules. The coal macules consist of dust-laden macrophages and small amounts of collagen fibers arrayed in a delicate network. Those lesions are scattered throughout the lung, but centered mainly in the upper lobes and the upper zones of the lower lobes. Simple coal worker pneumoconiosis may be associated with the centrilobular emphysema. Complicated coal worker pneumoconiosis occurs on a background of a simple coal worker pneumoconiosis by coalescence of the coal nodules, and generally this develops over many years. It's characterized by multiple dark black scars larger than 2 centimeters and sometimes up to 10 centimeters, consisting of dense collagen and pigment. This histologic section shows progressive massive fibrosis with large amounts of black pigment and extensive fibrosis. Coal worker pneumoconiosis usually is a benign disease that produces little effect on the lung function. When progressive massive fibrosis develops, there is an increasing risk for pulmonary dysfunction, pulmonary hypertension, and cor pulmonale. Progression from the coal worker pneumoconiosis to the progressive massive fibrosis has been linked to a variety of variables, including the higher coal dust exposure levels and the total dust burden. Unfortunately, once established, the progressive massive fibrosis, it has the tendency to progress even in the absence of further exposure. After taking smoking-related risk factors into account, there is no increasing frequency of lung cancer in the coal miners, a feature that distinguishes coal worker pneumoconiosis from both silica and asbestos exposures.